Okay, so thank you, Andrea, for being here with us today with Real Italian Restaurants. First of all, tell us more about you. Who are you? What are you doing in life? What are you specializing in?
Hi Martina, thanks for having me here. It's a pleasure to be interviewed by Real Italian Restaurants, such a great project for Italian restaurants abroad and in Italia too. So my name is Andrea Abbondanza and I'm a digital marketer. I've been doing this job for almost 15 years now and I've been working in Italia and Australia. Also, I got like my brand about restaurants called SEO For Restaurants.com where you can find me. And also there's an Italian version of the site, just in Italian, if you want to, if you're not really fluent with English. And basically, I've been working in Italy, in Europe, and Australia. I moved to Australia like 10 years ago, and I've been working in different companies as an SEO manager, then a director in a company in Melbourne. Melbourne is where I have most of my clients based. And we do social media strategies, local SEO, Google Ads to promote restaurants and to make sure that they increase their booking and they're more relevant online.
But from what I know, you have another background, right?
Yeah, I'm actually a lawyer in Italy. So this is not my first job at the moment because I choose like the digital marketing career. But yeah, I'm a full stack lawyer in Italy. But I decided to change my path because when I moved to Australia, I couldn't do the same job. And I work in hospitality, I work in different restaurants. That's where like my passion became stronger. But also, as I said, like I got a lot of experience in like different niches, but I choose restaurants because my passion, food culture and design is what define the Italian culture. And that's where I like and I love to work with restaurants because it's part of our culture.
And Andrea, can you tell us something more about your job? So, share, for example, a success story of one of your restaurants.
Yeah, so one of my friends, Andrea, got this restaurant in Melbourne. It's called Piccolino, and we've been working together for 3 or 4 years now. And I saw like actually the increase in bookings and the fact that the restaurant is always more packed, more packed, more packed. Why? Because all the marketing that you do, you just create a sort of a baseline, and then you put the cherries on top, and slowly it's become more and more effective. So, for example, like the last Mother's Day campaign did very well. We used like meta retargeting campaigns to actually attract people, and it was really successful. Plus, every time we try to target, for example, specific periods. There could be Easter, there could be Christmas, there could be like different events. For example, in Australia, they don't cook for in the family during Christmas or Easter, so they're really big days. So we try to follow the events. For one of my clients, 48 hours, the F1 targeting in Melbourne because we got F1 was one of the most successful like week ever. So they've been packed all the time, not just with local people, but people that were traveling for the F1. So those campaigns work really well. For other clients like Cosi, Cucinetta, and they're like in South Yarra in Melbourne, like a really high-end suburb. And also they got a restaurant in Hawthorne called Vaporetto. We've been really successful doing like SEO, local SEO, branding, social media, and then with the podcast now, we're just moving to the next level because it's like opening this conversation with other restaurant owners, but also showing the authenticity of the projects, what we're doing, why we're doing it. And I think people are responding really well. And the Instagram channel for the dining room stories is doing really well. Also, the YouTube is picking up now. So I think we want to talk more and more with other restaurant owners, create this community, and try to make everyone successful.
And I think this must be very satisfying. When you reach your goal, it's not only you're giving a service, you're putting passion in what you're doing, right?
Yeah, I love my job. I love what I'm doing, and I really believe that if I can help the community, that's going to be beneficial not just for myself but for others. And it's tough sometimes when you start getting leads online because not all the leads are the same. Like when they come from referral, it's really easy. I wouldn't say easy, but the trust has been built already by someone else. While you're a new project, for example, like Real Italian Restaurants, like is a strong project, but the branding is still not super known, is not super famous. So it's where like all the dots get together. That slowly the projects get bigger. And I believe that in this like super competitive market, creating community and creating like strong branding is what can make the difference.
Yes, I completely agree with you. All right. So, as a digital marketing specialist for restaurants, what's your service for restaurants, basically?
Yeah, so first of all, we manage their websites. So we make websites, design websites for them. Then we optimize websites for conversions. In that sense, we also drive traffic, but we make sure that that traffic converts towards more bookings and more calls, because that's what restaurants need. And we have guaranteed or like 40% increase in bookings and sales in the first 12 months they work with us, because it gives us a little bit of time to make sure that everything is set up properly, and we need a little bit of extra time to get the guarantee going. SEO, SEO, local SEO, Google Ads management, retargeting campaigns, and also we work on social media. We can edit we can edit videos and make sure that we're always relevant all over the platforms. As Neil Patel was saying, has been saying like for a few months, SEO is not just only a search engine optimization, so be relevant on Google, but it's becoming search everywhere optimization. So you need to be relevant in all the platforms. So people need to find you over different platforms, because like the decision making is a little bit longer. So people like to search on different platforms. So you need to be present everywhere. And that's what we do. We do these full stack marketing campaigns and optimization for the clients, and we make sure that they're relevant and then online, and then increase their bookings.
So this makes me think about two things. First question is, you've said so many technical things now. How do you, uh, from your point of view, so what are your challenges in making this comprehensible to someone who maybe is not keen to this kind of things, because maybe a restaurant owner is specialized in something else, right? So they have other things that they have to deal with. How do you make this understandable for them?
So restaurants owners are really busy. I know that. So they are bombarded by so many companies that try to sell them services, get the management system, get this post, get this SEO, get this Google, but it's really confusing. So that's why like our marketing message now, it's more simple. So we guarantee more bookings and more calls. So we make the investment sustainable, because investing in digital marketing is basically something that you should do today, and it's really relevant. There's a lot of competition, but it's an investment. What it means is you need to allocate some resources, need to be patient, and then you're gonna see that after first few months and then ongoing, you're gonna start having like an ongoing and strong stream of new bookings, and that's where it makes the investment sustainable, because more bookings means more money in, more people will come to your restaurant, and then because you make more money, then you can also invest in marketing.
And how do you tailor your strategy to the specific restaurant so that the service is works for that restaurant, specific restaurant?
So we're specializing in working with restaurants, so we know exactly what needs to be done. So the guaranteed, and that's a conversation that I have most of the time with clients, is like, how do you guarantee that I need full access to everything? I need your website, I need your Google business profile, I need access to your Google Ads, I need access to Meta. Once I have access to everything, I can start organizing everything the best way. What works, for example, is to be on top of mind should be like Google Business Profile. So if you're relevant on the map, when people are searching for a restaurant in your area in that specific time, they're gonna find you. Then with remarketing campaigns, we basically create audiences. So we create similar like clients, customer base, and then we target them with similar people over time, and that becomes a real and strong, consistent like stream of new bookings, because we kind of create this avatar of people that's similar, they like the kind of restaurants, and then ongoing we're gonna attract more people. Google is really strong on attracting new people, while for example Meta, TikTok can be really good for retargeting campaigns to find out people that are looking on those platforms. Especially old people, like I mean, the audience a little bit older, they search still on Facebook, on Instagram, while TikTok is more young people. But the different strategy that you need to do, all of them works, but in general, they should be aligned to branding. So what we do at the beginning is what is your brand, what's your point of differentiation within your area, why you're different, why people should choose you. And then after we discover what is the branding, we tailor the campaigns and we choose the platforms. It's not that social media works, Google works, they don't work, they all works, but they need to be, there should be a strategy behind it. When the strategy is defined and aligned to the brand, that's where you get strong and really strong results over time.
All right, so you put the technical background and the strategy, and you ask for trust, basically, from the restaurant owner. And so we've spoken now about your difficulties, your challenges, but what are the challenges, in your opinion, that a restaurant owner abroad working internationally can face?
Today, there's so much more competition than before, okay? So it's really important for you as a restaurant owner to be relevant. What is relevancy? People need to know you, your brand, and that your restaurant is better than others because there's less money in the market today. So it's really important for them to come to your restaurant, show that they are on the best restaurant in the area and show them to their friends, their families, because it's all about exposure. So why should they choose your restaurant? That is the most relevant question. We help you find out what's your point of differentiation, why you're different, especially compared to others. And that's where, together with all the platform that we can manage, we get strong results for you. But the main challenge is being relevant and being seen. That's why you can choose personal branding, you can choose to promote your own main restaurant brand, but in general, it also, everything just passes through being relevant and being seen. So it has to be seen today to become relevant and actually make more money, really.
Of course. So I think we're aligned in this job of helping promoting real Italian restaurants. And this brings me to the word authentic. So, what is authentic Italian restaurant in your opinion?
Yeah, so from my experience, because I've been living abroad, I love traveling, and also I can't consider myself as a food blogger, but like going around to restaurants and do reviews. I think an authentic Italian restaurant is a restaurant that use Italian products. The chef or the owner should be Italian, and they should align to tradition. Then we can discuss what tradition and traditional Italian food is. There's so many new restaurants, especially in New York or city like Sydney or Melbourne, where there is this kind of fusion, that different concepts. So they mix up different cultures, and I love it. Is this restaurant authentic or not? We can define and we can just talk about it. But definitely, I love the old school concept, like the nonna spaghetti meatball. That's that kind of food that is authentic and it comes from the tradition. I love it because I'm Italian. But also like nouvelle cuisine, and I like more sophisticated approaches to cuisine. Both of them can be authentic, but in general, the Italian products should be used, and then the chef should be Italian. And that's why I think Real Italian Restaurants is a great project because, when you got that mark, when you got the label of Real Italian Restaurants, you make sure that everyone that will come to your venue, they understand that you are Italian. So it's really important to be part of this community. Real Italian Restaurants promote authenticity abroad. And that's where the value is be part of a community of Italians that are authentic. They can help choosing the right Italian restaurants when you're traveling, really. For example, you can find restaurants on TripAdvisor, on The Fork. Everyone likes or not like The Fork, for example, but that's a different that's a different topic, right? But in general, what's good is how can I find a real Italian restaurant? How can I have an authentic experience? Because it's not just about the food, but it's also about the real experience. Because hospitality is creating this beautiful culture, and I think the Italian culture is so good. Everyone loves Italian food, but sometimes you go to these restaurants where they're not authentic, and so you have an experience that is not great, and then it's going to affect all the others. So I think it's a beautiful project, Real Italian Restaurants, because he actually is going to identify just a few restaurants that are authentic, and they guarantee that the experience is going to be amazing.
I think you've just got the point. So, Real Italian Restaurant is so much more than a simple directory where you can find a restaurant. If you're in Real Italian Restaurants, you are sure that among the various criteria that you can find, so a real Italian chef, owner, and ingredients coming from Italy, you are part of a community, and that's the most important thing, in my opinion, at least. So you can have a meeting point You can talk about what's real Italian. You can, ask for suggestions, and you can gather together. So that's so much more than, the simple idea of entering a platform and finding a real Italian restaurant abroad so you can find your dinner for tonight. There's so much more from it.
Yeah, I think it's a great concept. It's something that we needed, especially when we're traveling abroad, because the getting like having an authentic experience is something that actually make your day better, right? So when you have good food and then when you have a good experience, it's great. And also, I think it's a good initiative to bring together all like these Italian restaurant owners that sometimes they feel alone when they're outside. Of course, there's competition in the market, but why don't we try to, get a little bit together, create this community, talk about the real problems that we have, and try to, make sure that everyone can be successful. Because there's competition on one side, but on the other side, I believe that everyone can be successful. Not everyone, but like Italian restaurants that are authentic, they should be definitely successful because we represent a beautiful culture and everyone loves Italian food in the world.
Yes, I completely agree with that. So I thank you again for being with us today. So can you tell us again where can we find you? And I know you have many projects going on also.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So SEOforrestaurants.com is where you can find my website and my company. On Instagram, SEO for Restaurants. You can find me on LinkedIn with my name, Andrea Abbondanza. I publish like a lot of content that like more B2B like focused. And I started like last year a podcast called Dining Room Stories with one of my clients, Omar, in Melbourne, and where we interview like top players in the industry in Melbourne. It's been really, really interesting, and I learned so many things doing the podcast. And also, I have a kind of a side project that is gonna be online soon. So I decided to call this the SEO Chef, where I'm gonna put all the ingredients together to make great dishes. And those dishes are like the marketing that you should use to be successful with your restaurants.
All right, thank you, Andrea, again. And we are waiting for your new YouTube channel, right? SEO Chef.
Yeah, great. Grazie Martina, thank you so much. And my pleasure to be here.
Thank you.